a bit more humor. But boy, whenever he was a heel, you better be serious. And I want people to pay money to come see him whip your ass. I don't want them to be laughing at you or enjoying what you're doing. I want them to hate your ass. Well, so that was the whole deal there. It's just, comedy's hard. It's just hard to do. I think that the most talented entertainers are great comedians. I truly believe that.
Well, with that being said, and talking about the glimmer of humor, as Bill Watts would only let so much of it in, and to your point about it's got to be the right talent with the right ability, and then touching upon promos, let's take this thing home. Let's finish up talking about promos, and when we pick back up again in a couple of weeks, we'll spend a lot of time on promos. But let's get started. In your mind, in your heart, what is a winning promo about? Is it conviction? Is it, the content? Is it the situation at hand? Let's talk about that. What makes a successful money-drawing promo in your brain?
Well, I think every promo's got to have structure. You got to have a hot start. You got to have a meaty middle, meaty. You got to have substance, in other words, in the middle of it, and you got to have a hell of a go-home line. And so there's got to be structure. You got to have something. You can't go out there like a cabbage, all head, no rear end, and have a good promo. Promos are designed to sell. They're either selling you as a character, you're selling a pay-per-view, you're selling a live event ticket, you're selling what's still to come. You're selling something in every promo that's done, in my estimation. And to be a good salesman, you got to have structure. And I think the promos have got to have some structure. Now, am I telling you in a off-the-cuff code that they got to be scripted? Absolutely not. The best promos are the ones where a talent can be himself or herself. They can they can put their structure together in bullet point form from somebody that they're working with, whomever they're taking their direction from, and then they can translate that into themselves. I have to believe that you're telling me that you're sincere about what you're saying. In whatever context it is, I have to believe that you're not bullshitting me. If I think that you're bullshitting me, then I am tuning you out. I might hear you, but I'm not listening to you. And when the audience stops listening to a promo, they hear it, they hear the audible noise, but they're not listening, you lost them. So you got to have structure. You got to be real in the moment. Real in the moment. A lot of your promos, you had humor in your promos, but it was the right time at the right place. But when it come down to nut cutting time, I didn't have to worry that I knew that Stone Cold was telling me what he believed in his heart, and you weren't winking at me that you're going to whip somebody's ass at WrestleMania.
No, if I said I was going to whip somebody's ass, I was damn sure going to go out and attempt to do that. Now, could I fail? Maybe. That would depend, and we'll go get down the road to that point. But I'm going in there with all convictions that I am going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to whip your ass. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And some of my best promos were right off the fly, hearing a guy talking and responding accordingly. It's one thing when you got a chance to sit there and say, yeah, he's probably going to say this, or he might say a little bit of that. But once the sumbitch fires off on that horn and you're listening, I mean, I can listen to a guy's promo on me and know, hey, man, I might have 10, 15 minutes. It might get to me for an hour before I get my time on the horn, but my adrenaline's already starting to boil because that summit's done fired me up. Now, it's in a business standpoint, and he might have been shooting a little bit there, but it was all geared towards the persona and the being that Stone Cold was. So when you're talking to me, I'm listening, and everybody knows I'm a little hard of hearing, but I can hear a pin drop in a building. So if somebody's talking shit to me, if someone says they're going to whip my ass, I'm going to respond accordingly. So most of my stuff was all off the cuff. And I remember when I came back from my neck surgery, the business had kind of started changing at that point. And by the time I came back a year later, they were kind of starting to give guys outlines and stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, man, this is a whole different program from when I was here. And at that point, I was kind of going with the flow a little bit, but it was totally different for me. I never enjoyed promos quite as much following that protocol as I did when I was freewheeling it.
Yeah, I think all the great talkers were natural extensions of themselves. They were entrepreneurs. They had the entrepreneurial spirit. They believed in their character. They believed in what they were selling. I think that what's made my success is because I never played the role of a wrestling announcer. I never used a fake name for what that's worth, if it's anything. I don't even know why I said that, but I never used a stage name. The only thing I ever did that was different than what my normal day-to-day was wearing that black hat. And now, if I don't ever forget that black hat. If I'm going to NXT to coach these kids or to work with these new announcers, guess what? I wear my black hat to the Oklahoma City airport, down to DFW to the airport, all the way to Orlando, to the rental car place, and to the hotel. That black hat's just a big part of me now, and I got no problem with it. That's what people expect to see. But I always believed in me because I knew that being a chubby Southern accent guy, I was going to be challenged to make it on a national level in any endeavor, whether it be the NFL or college football or whatever. Now, egocentrically, do I believe that in another life I could have been an NFL broadcaster or a college football broadcaster? You damn right, without question. But wasn't my calling, and I wouldn't change a damn thing of how everything went. And then when you get Bell's palsy 3 times and you can't smile, your facial expressions change. You got to believe in yourself. And I believed in what I did. I believed in my passion. I believed in my heart and soul. What I saw in that monitor, I was going to make sure that the person at home felt it, because I was emotionally invested in what I did for a living and proud of it. Still am. And when a great promo guy goes out there, he or she got to be emotionally invested in that character. Who are you? You should be an extension of who you are as a human being. And turn the volume up a little bit, give me a little bit more passion, and because then you're organic, you're natural. I watch your movies and I see Steve. I don't see, and maybe that's an insult to a real actor person like you are now, but I see real. I see organic. I see I just see real, and I don't look past that you're acting. I get immersed in the story. And I think that's what I'm supposed to do when I watch a movie, get immersed into the story.
I'm still working at that aspect of it. I got a long ways to go on that, but as Stone Cold Steve Austin, 100% of the time out there, I believed 120% everything I was doing was real deal, whether it was in the ring and I was working or cutting a promo on a guy to draw money. It was all real deal to me. And the thing about it is, I've really run out of time for this damn show. And I'm going to have Jim Ross on again, and we're going to keep talking about the promo. We're going to talk about drawing money, getting hired, fired, hired back, fired again. The story of Jim Ross as he goes down the road to professional wrestling. My good friend, thank you for joining me. This is Steve Austin, and I'll catch your ass down the road.